Alright, time to get the stream started. Doing a rare Wednesday stream. Usually I do Thursdays, but I've got too much I need to get done in this game, so I need to do a little bit more this week. Wanted to troubleshoot a little bit of towers targeting the enemies. Getting some feedback here. Fix the feedback. It should be better. So let's see here. We've got... I was just working on a function for towers targeting the enemies. Because clearly there's an issue here. Where some of the enemies are either not spawning in the correct place or the projectiles are just shooting off into who knows where. And that's not very good. Blaze, how you doing this evening, man? How's school been? And we got a whole bunch of them stacked up right there. That one is too bright. So, these should loop back around in a second. Ideally, that one is. Those arcane shots. Oh man, exams start tomorrow, huh? Ooh. Well, hopefully you're not going to stay up too late tonight then. You ready? Yeah, exactly. You better get some rest and do whatever you need to do for those exams, man. Start studying at 8. All right, well, you've got 18 minutes or so. Definitely appreciate you hopping on, though. It's good to hear from you. If you need to go now, that's fine, too. You got to take care of yourself, man. All right, let's see here. So I was working on a custom function here. I think I'm not going to do that right now, but I do want to take a look at just the tower targeting in general. Yeah, I did see that trailer. What do you think about it? Let's find the arcane tower here. Yeah, I agree. It looks pretty awesome, man. Maybe they'll take some inspiration from your mod pack. Okay, so right here, this is where the arcane tower is picking the enemies nearest it. So, draw a line from tower head, arcane, center X and Y to the enemy, center X, enemy, center Y. So let's run this one more time. See where that line is going. By the way, I'm using your background art as my thumbnail for right now. Not sure if you noticed that. Okay, put this tower here. So I'm not focusing on the projectiles, I'm focusing on the line. So that little straight line, it's drawing properly, it looks like. I think I need to actually reduce... Well, let me see here. Put another arcane one out. It's working properly at the moment. But what about now if I pull in some more enemies? Whenever you want to get the bug to show up for troubleshooting, it acts like it's working. But then when you're trying to make it work, the bug shows up. So scrolls, collect those. See, now they're targeting way out here. Let me pause this. Let's take a look at the debugger and find out where these... Are there enemies out there? It's kind of odd. Okay, so it's saying there are a couple of large enemies, which are these guys here. I think, and then there's a... I think this is a small and a tiny one. Those are the names of it. So if I scroll down, yeah, we see small right here. At position 874, 297, and then... Let's see, these tiny ones. I'm looking for anything in the negatives on the x-axis. Or in general, if there's a negative, then it's off the scene. And to double check the events here, yeah, it's targeting the backer component of the enemies. So in that case, not so much concerned about these as I am these backers here. So we've got positive, positive, positive. There's a negative right there. So there's a tiny one there's actually a couple of them. And they are way off to the left. So the towers are probably not wrong. The enemy spawning is wrong on the tiny version of the enemies. Okay, so that's interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go back up then. This is not an arcane issue, this is an enemy spawning issue. Right here. So we're spawning enemies 0 through 3. 0 is the spawn of the tiny one. We're creating the backer object at the same position as the enemy particles emitter. So spawning the backer at enemy spawner basic X and Y. So same as above, on the same layer. And then I change the position of that thing to Okay, I think I see the problem. Enemy spawner basic, enemy basic tiny. I'm changing the positions of the backer component to its own self. So this needs to be this. Wait, why are there two of these here? What in the world? Who wrote this code? Fire them. Why are there two change positions? Cool, man. Send it. Send it on over. So delete this. I don't even know what in the world is going on here. And then change the position of the backer piece. I'm not even sure why I'm doing this change position thing. Yeah, I'm gonna fire myself. This is a little bit questionable. I'm sure it makes sense in some way if you close one eye and squint hard enough, but at the moment it's not making sense to me. All right, I think I got the water file. Do you want that just copied into the background image? Okay, here's what I'm going to do, just so I can troubleshoot this maybe a little bit easier. I'm going to make sure that I can see the circle I'm trying to find. So I'm going to set it to like 175 opacity. Maybe even this other one. And just see what I can see, like literally. Hey George, glad you could hop on, man. I noticed you posted your latest podcast. I have yet to watch it, but I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate you taking the time to hop on over here. I know you're busy. Let's see. Actually, let's deconstruct this. Oh no. Okay, so there's a bug right there I need to fix. All right. So I'm not actually seeing any of what I'm looking for here. Nice. Oh, there's one. Here, I'll tell you what, I'm going to find out real quick. I was going to ask which game it was for, but I can find out. Radiant Bricks. Yeah, I haven't played that one. Looking forward to it. His game hasn't launched yet. Okay, sweet. It's good stuff. I'm going to have to check that out for sure. I always learn. I don't care who's on the channel. Any game dev out there, there's always something to learn. Everyone's got their processes and unique things that make them work. And in this case, I am trying to hunt down a little bug here. So I'm going to... Okay, I think I know why I was doing this. I think it was just slightly off center. So I was changing the position of the backer piece. Enemy backer, but I think I'm assigning it incorrectly. So again, I want to assign that to... Blaze, you've got 3 minutes, bro. So what I'm looking at is I have a position here, and I'm basically just spawning the red circle, and then I'm changing its position immediately after. Not really sure why I'm doing it this exact way. I could just simply say spawn it at this position here. So maybe I'll try that. So that would be a minus 25. And then minus. This value here. Then I will try deleting that. Okay, so that's going to be for the small enemy. Let me try just spawning number 1. Really narrow this down. And test that. You have an idea, a meme idea about quest unplayed and minimap like time traveler, moves chair, the timeline, and then it shows the minimap account with the quest unplayed design. And then the quest unplayed account with the minimap design. Okay, so we can see these guys now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those need to actually be moved more upward. Let me collapse this one right here and just focus here. So create object at this position. So the Y value needs to be updated to a smaller Y value. Minus the height divided by 2. Not entirely sure here. Divided by 4? I feel like I just did this, but Maybe it was for a different enemy. Oh, it actually needs to be minus quite a bit more. So go the other direction. Let's do... let's do no division here. No division. All right, have a good night. Good luck studying. Knock out those tests, bro. I believe in you. Okay, so that's not particularly helpful either. Create object at position, at the Y position of the enemy spawner basic Y. By the way, George, have you, I don't know the individual's name, but have you had the dev for Below the Stone on your podcast yet? Next week, sweet. Yeah, so if you're still taking them, I might give you a question or two, you know, if you get the chance to ask. But I know you mentioned it, so I had a lot of fun playing that game. I know it's in early access, but it's pretty far along. Awesome, will do. All right, for the Y coordinate here, I'm going to not subtract anything at all. I'm just going to try this. Yeah, those sirens are going crazy outside. Yeah, I swear, these things are not moving at all. So odd. What else could we do here then? All right, let's just dramatize this. Let's just move it up 100 full pixels and see if it's moving at all. Maybe it's just a perception thing. Okay, yeah, they are moving. All right. So we'll subtract enemy backer basic small dot height. I think we had that earlier. Let's try it again, see where that puts us. All right, well, let's try a bigger number then. Let's try times 2. I wonder why. Let me check on this particular object. So this is the this one right here. So if I edit that, it's technically 50 pixels tall. Can I test the water tower thing? You want me to test the water tower in the game, or do you want me to test the image that you sent me? Because I could do either. Yeah, let's pull that up real quick. I'm almost worried that it's going to be a little too small, the one that you sent me just now, but let's give it a shot. All right, so if I drop this in here, and then so let me know if there's something else you're aiming for, but what I'm seeing here is yeah, the second image. Oops. Why is it moving the background? Yeah, I've got that one here. Let me lock this or something. All right, so it's like there we go. All right, I had to change a setting here. Basically, I was wondering what the idea is for this animation, or for the sprite, because I can see these particles here. Did you say that your idea was that there's a water tower back here behind the tree on the left? This is we're bad influences, aren't we? We're pulling him away from his studies. So, I mean, I do have this one tower over here. I could move it to the other side. I could rotate this. And, you know, maybe it would look like it's kind of coming from this particular tower. But, again, I don't know if the scale is quite right. We can make it work. You wanted to replace the water attack sprite with the image you just gave me. Yeah, so this 373 sprite, this is the new water attack, right? So are you trying to get rid of... Is there a different water attack on the screen? Are you talking about all of this rain? I'm sorry, I'm just a little confused. Oh, are you talking about inside of the game itself to use this sprite? Oh, I'm tracking now. Okay, that makes way more sense because I was not making it work too well there in the image. I'm tracking now. So the water attack sprite. Let me see here. What do we have? Water tower. So it's currently shooting all this water at the enemies, and it's periodically creating this flowing water here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we could see how that looks. I'm not sure. Let's give this a test. Let's go to water. There could be some seam issues, but we'll find out. Honestly, in my opinion, water is going to be one of the more challenging elements in this artistically, so... All right, where did I put it? Okay, so raindrop. That's the object. So if I add an animation, add the sprite. Let's move that around and let's edit the points. Something like that. And apply. Let me open this up in the editor as well. Okay, we've got a little bit of extra space here. I'm going to try reducing that to about 220. And then, yeah, go ahead and resize that. Then I need to move this as well. My chat keeps connecting and disconnecting. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, so let's bring it actually down to 60 in height and 101 width. There we go, and let's save that. And let's check the points again. So we'll put the origin right about here. And the center at right about there. And apply, and apply. All right, yeah, let's see what happens. It's definitely interesting looking. Yeah, I think the dots are actually lights. So let me see. Raindrop light is this thing right here. So if we were to maybe change that up a little bit, let's say 125. Let's see if that looks any better. And yeah, I think that's an interesting effect. And I'm thinking of some ways we can maybe make that, you can kind of see the pattern because they're repeating so much. I'm almost thinking now if we could do the same thing, but like basically take it and where is it? All right, right there. So if we were to do something like, here, let me duplicate it if I can. Wait, is there really not a way to duplicate an animation? Oh well, I'll just have to go in here. So if I were to take one of these, and then yeah, you've given me an idea here. I think if we were to do the same thing but inside of a circle, and instead of using horizontal lines, if they were actually just a series of dots, either a 1 pixel dot or like a 2x2 dot, which would be a square, and do a series of those, then I could like rotate the circle at a random angle, and it would make the image not look repetitive. Does that make sense to you? So if we were to do the same thing, and I'll pick a blue color here, and basically do like, why is it not blue? Here we go. Like a blue here, a blue there, and then maybe like a couple of larger ones, something like that. And then fill the circle with those. The circle would, of course, be invisible. That way I could rotate it, and it would be less obvious that there's a pattern. I think that would actually work pretty well if we did something along that line. So if I were to take this image and reduce this to, I think 59 by 59. Yeah, something like that. Let's see, probably just like, I could probably just break some of these up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why the chat's disconnecting. Let me see. Maybe I'm using too much bandwidth. Take my phone off the Wi-Fi at least. This was a pretty good idea. I like this approach. Let's give this a shot here. All right, I will save that, and I'll save it as a new file just to be safe. And apply. Actually, let's check the points one more time. So the center will need to be at about, well, the actual center, which would be 30, would be about 30 by 30. And the origin, I guess, we'll put that at the center as well. Just to be safe. Apply and apply. All right, let's give that a test. No, man, you're a genius. This was your idea. I kind of like the effect. It could even be like a snow effect if we wanted to do a snow attack with the ice tower, you know? And then, yeah, some of the dots were blue because the drops were blue, because blue is kind of the theme. You know, I don't know. That's not necessarily final. So now what I would be, now what I'm thinking is to have it actually rotate before they spawn, because you're still getting, you know, this line. You can see this pattern. So let's try rotating it at the time that they spawn. So create object, and then we'll simply rotate it. So let's do raindrop, rotate. We'll do rotate angle. We'll say random 360. Let's give that a shot and see if we get rid of the pattern. Let's see. I'm still seeing a pattern. Oh, sorry, my voice is cracking. Still seeing a little bit of a pattern here, though. There's this line, you know, going through. Of course, the game does not like it when I pause because of all the particles, but I can fix that as well. I think we're onto something here. Create object raindrop at speed. Oh, I think I see what's happening. That was the wrong function here. We need rotate toward angle. 0 for immediate, so we'll just do 0. Let's try that. I think they were trying to rotate as they traveled. Also, let's check one other thing. The rain drop. Was it raindrop 2? Up above, so if the timer create splash of raindrop is greater than or equal to 0.7 seconds, create this. So that's odd. This should be this should really be if the time scale is greater than 0, because they still seem to spawn the splashing effect even if I pause the game, which is killing the frames. All right, let's test this out. I think we're on to something here, Blaze. You know, it's always a little hard to tell because the pixels are so small, but I think there's less of a pattern. There still is some kind of a pattern, but I'd say it's an improvement, though. You're done with robotics? Is that what your exam is in tomorrow? Robotics? Can you build me a robot to fix my game? Alrighty here. The question is, can you build a robot with your eyes closed? Because that's your specialty. Right, let's go back down to raindrop. I have an idea to test this out a little bit. Because it should be rotating, but if we do this with a big red dot somewhere in here, we can really track if it's staying in the same place or not. So I'll put it up in one of the corners. The big red square. And I'll save over that and apply. And let's see how that's looking. This will be kind of our source of truth on whether we're getting rotations. Yeah, you do robot-based projects. That's pretty cool. Okay, so a lot of them are in the same place. You can see the red dots in a trail. And then periodically there's one in a different position. Like down there. But a lot of them are in line still, which is why we're getting this mostly pattern still. Alright, let's check then. So if the timer... Where do we have this? We're creating the object here. We're rotating it towards a random position. Random in range. Let's say, how about 0 to 359? Maybe that's more friendly. And at speed 0, it should be immediate. Let's test that one out. Okay, we're still getting a ton in line. That is unexpected. Rotate towards. One to 359 maybe? Not sure if I think the function is inclusive, so it should have worked the first time. Odd. I would expect those red dots to be kind of all over the place. Let me double check something. I wonder if it's rotating on the origin point or on the center. Let's search this. Gdevelop, rotate. Did I tell this thing? Oh, I think I might know what the problem is. Let me see if I apply to face forward to... And yes, this must be the problem. Let's get rid of face forward. and apply. The rotation should be fine. And yeah, let's test that. So it was rotating once and then undoing the rotation. I think. There we go. Now we're getting random. Look at that. Oh, that's crazy too. If I pause it, it builds up a big light ball. Look at this. Bam. That's actually kind of cool. See, it's charging up. I might have to turn that into an ability. Sometimes bugs are features. Charging up, charging up. Boom. Hadouken. And it's breaking the game. That's how you know it's good. Interesting. Let's build up another one of those. It's building up right around the tower here. And release. I'm going to have to take note of that. I might be able to do something with that. A tower that does nothing for a while except slowly charge up, and you can let it be idle until you're ready to release an increasingly powerful shot. Kind of like a slow snipe buildup. Now let's save that. I'm going to call that progress. All right, let me double check something here. Okay, so back to the first problem, and then I think I'm going to call it a stream for the night. So just going to the enemy spawn issue here, we had the red object, the backer object, which was I told it, wait, that's the wrong one right there. Number 1 right here. Create the object at this Y position minus its own height times 2. Let's try times 4 perhaps. So now we'll see where those red dots are. The red circles rather. Yeah, they're still not quite right, but we do have the rain tower working. We can charge it up. I guess I can get rid of those red dots as well. Save that. All right, let's give this another test. Just going to wrap this up real quick here. It doesn't seem to like subtracting the using the height function. So I'm just going to, I guess, hard code this for now. Let me double check where it is if I do no subtraction. Let's try 25. Just a little bit of trial and error here. I mean, that's a heck of a lot better. Okay, so if I now make those, change the opacity to 0. Give that one more test here, and it should be working smoothly. We'll put a rain tower out here as well, a water tower. Obviously, I'll need to change out that sprite as well. And maybe put an arcane tower out here as well, because that's what I was testing with earlier. Those scrolls seem to collect anytime I click anywhere. I'll have to tweak that next time as well. All right. I think that's about it for tonight. So, pretty successful stream. Thanks to Blaze for the rain concept and the sprite. And should be streaming again soon. So, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, whatever it is you're working on, whether you're taking your robotics tests or you're working on a game, I hope you have fewer bugs than I do. Thanks.